Hello my friends. I'm doing a pour today, and as usual I want contrast for interest in my pour. So I knew I wanted to use violet, so I'm using a color wheel, and I'm going with a Triad color scheme, which means the colors are equally spaced on the color wheel. So violet is here, and green would be one of the colors, and then orange. Now I don't want to use orange in a pour with purple and green necessarily, so I'm using a kind of a warm gold, certainly in the orange family, and that should work. And then I needed more contrast than that, so I'm adding white, and then I mixed some purple with black. I went a little too heavy with the black, but it's a very deep plum, and hopefully that will yield interesting results. We shall see. But anyway, if you don't have a color wheel, pick one up. They're really fun to use and very helpful. You can figure out, learn about color theory and working with color schemes, complementary, split complementary, analogous, and anyway, it's a great tool. I think this was a couple bucks at Michael's, and I use it frequently. So let's get going here. I'll put the pouring medium I'm using down below. It's the Polycrylic mix that I'm very fond of. It gives you nice crisp lines. And if I decide to do the drizzle thing, it keeps nice firm lines. So yeah, it's great. Okay, I'm going to use, this is a 16 by 16. I'm going to use a large cup. I have what, 7, 14, about 18, close to 18 ounces of paint. Should be more than enough for this canvas. I'll do probably 3 layers in this order. I gave some thought to the order I wanted to put the colors in. I wanted to keep the white away from the purple, so I wouldn't get a lavender. I wanted to keep this, I'm going to call it black even though it's got some purple in it. I wanted to keep that away from the white, so I'm buffering it with the phthalo. And I always like purple and gold next to one another. Didn't necessarily want the purple and green right next to each other. I'm not putting too much thought into opaque versus transparent. I happen to have opaque colors surrounding these 3, well, actually the black would be opaque. The black I added would make that opaque. These are semi-transparent, the purple and green. The others are opaque. So actually I did alternate. Just so happened that I alternated opaque and semi-transparent. And transparent. One of these, I think it was the violet, is transparent. And one more layer. I think I'm just going to pour all the rest of it in. I live near an Air Force base. There's often aircraft sound. Yeah, I wish I had gone with less black in that, but it's hard. Once you've gone too dark, it's hard to, lighten it up. And I know better. I should have added a little bit at a time instead of big lump of it. Oh well. Okay, I'm going to just do a straight pour, ring pour, you know, just kind of mess around with the pouring of it, and then reserving some for some ribbons, I hope. I'll pour it this way. I'm going to pour it opposite the messy end I started. Sometimes I like to pour from the side, so you get kind of a stripy effect, but I'm going to pour just the opposite this time. And here we go. The phthalo on its own is just kind of disappears, but I put it next to the white, and I think it looks quite pretty. I'm going to do some big ribbons and then smaller later. Okay, I reserved some of that. Okay. I hope I don't lose all the gold. I wanted to use phthalo green because you just don't see that many pours with green. We do a lot of blue and purple and pink, but green is kind of tricky. And I do love phthalo green though. Pull back this way so I can maintain some of that gold color. Oh, I thought this was the canvas showing, but it's white. I don't like that. I'm going to cover that up. Kind of back to the center and down to this corner. Fun. Okay. You can see that the phthalo green is transparent for sure. And as is the violet. But where I added black to it, it's opaque. White is opaque. All right, let me clean my hands off, then I'm going to dress it up with some drizzle. I'm going to just take the gloves off because I'm done tilting. All right, now I'm just going to sprinkle some skinny lines on here. Where to? I like this. This is an interesting section. This is not so interesting. So I'm going to start down here. I have a lot of white because that was the first thing in the cup, so that'll be good. I need the contrast. I like to crisscross my lines, so I'm going to go here and up there. And now I'm going to run a whole bunch this way. I like this. I don't want to disturb that. I like the stripey there. This is not great. So I'm going to do a lot of back and forth over on this side here. I'm standing up to do this. I was sitting down. I usually sit down when I pour, but at this point I like to stand up. Okay, now I'm going to size that up. I kind of like the busyness over here and the more simplicity over there. Don't know if I want to busy it up anymore. I think maybe one more coming this way. Kind of crisscross that a bit and there. You know, take your time with it. Think about what it's going to look like. Yeah, I'm going to start up there. I'm going to come this way. Okay, this will be the last one. Always starting off the canvas. That one was kind of skinny. I don't like the way, I don't like that one. Isn't that crazy? My last one. I like everything else. The last one I did, I don't like, but it's very hard to try to correct something like that. I think I'll live with it. Do I want to add anything else? Maybe I could disguise it by doing another one. But should I? This one is certainly a standalone. That's a fun one there. That's good. This, I just don't like. I'm going to have to do something. So I'm going to do a third. I like things in threes. So I think I started up there, didn't I? That's where I went wrong. It would have been more comfortable for me to go from the bottom. That's what I'm going to do. So let's see. I have enough paint. You don't want to run out and end up with dribs and drabs instead of a nice line. Okay, I'm going to stop. That was a much better line there. And I think it disguised that odd one there sufficiently. Yeah, I like it. The only thing I would change if I were to do this combination again is to not go to lighten up my deep purple. I think straight black would have been too much of a contrast, but it's a little bit muddy there, but not enough that I'm worried about it or want to change it. I like it. Let me take you down for a little closer look. I've mentioned this before, but this is the only pouring medium, this homemade pouring medium, that I've found that I can do this effect with. I've tried it with glue and water or Liquitex or any number of other pouring mediums that I've tried. They just don't hold their shape. But this one, once you lay these lines down, they stay. They hold their shape and stay nice and crisp, and I just love that look. Okay, I like it. I don't say that about a lot of my work. I'm pretty critical of it, but I'm pleased with this one. When it gets off my messy tabletop and stands alone, I think it'll be quite nice. Okay, folks, well, let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time. Bye now.